There, Internet. I am the 450 Raven. I am a nationally registered emergency medical technician, and I've been doing some videos recently about some safety and some tips you can uh, consider to keep you and your friends safe out on the road, and they've had some great reception. I do want to continue those, but I do want to do a video as well that follows up my last video. I recorded a video about my CFMoto CLX 4, or sorry, not my CLX, my 450 NK. And today I wanted to talk about the CLX 700. So I loved my 450 NK. In that last video, I gushed about it an awful lot, and I decided when I had that bike and had the experiences I had on it that I would give CFMoto another shot, and I picked up the CLX 700 as well. I wanted a scrambler style motorcycle, and this one, of course, I like the CFMoto the 450 NK so much that I figured the CLX 700 is the next step in that direction. And I do want to go over the quirks and everything about this bike. I do want to say that I don't recommend this bike especially for a beginner, somebody that's new to riding motorcycles. This bike does have some quirks that I think kind of work against a beginner. But all in all, I do recommend this motorcycle. It is a very fun motorcycle to have. It treats you well, but there are just some quirks that you have to learn to live with it. First things first, I want to just say that the one major complaint that I have about this bike, this is the only real complaint that I have about it, but the only major complaint that I have about it is the kickstand is god awful on this motorcycle. It does not inspire any confidence that it's going to keep the bike up. The kickstand on it is kind of vertical rather than tilted, and it doesn't give you any opportunity to sort of lean on the bike at all. So anyway, the kickstand does not inspire any confidence at all on this bike. It feels very loose. If the bike inches forward whatsoever, the bike will tip over. The kickstand will release pretty quickly. And it does leave you kind of wondering if the bike's just going to fall over on its own. And this is a common complaint that you'll see with this bike on other videos going over it. But other than that, it's really not a bad bike to live with. And I'm sure that there's, an aftermarket option or something that you can do to fix that and come up with a solution for that. The other quirks about the bike, more or less, is that the throttle response on it is very twitchy at lower RPMs and at lower speeds. The eco mode and the sport mode specifically have a little bit of a weird fuel delivery when you're at lower speeds, and it can cause the bike to be a little jerky. This is just due to the way the ECU is tuned to meet fuel regulations and emissions regulations and stuff like that. I have heard that there are some fixes out there that you can do. You can pull the ECU and send it off to a tuning company. It's about $200 to $250 to get it tuned properly, and that will resolve the issue. But for a bike that's selling right now for about $4,500 since it got discontinued, do you really want to spend $200, or is that something that you want to live with? I personally, I've learned to live with it. It's just something that you have to consider and accommodate for when you get out on it. Other than that, the only little quirk is that the user manual doesn't give you enough information about how the bike works. If if you want to go into off-road mode, there's an option to disable ABS. The ABS button is on the same button as the off-road mode, so I guess it could kind of be common sense, but you would kind of assume that you could just disable ABS regardless of what mode you're in. But you do have to be in off-road mode to disable the ABS, and it only disables it for the rear tire, for the record. It doesn't disable it for the front. But additionally, you have to be entirely stopped with the bike in neutral to disable it. I haven't been able to disable it while it's in gear, and I haven't been able to disable it while I'm moving, but you do have to hold it for quite a while. My kid's jumping on his trampoline and kind of interrupted the whole thing. um, yeah, so other than that, the only, I guess, complaint that I have is that The stock exhaust sounds absolutely horrible. It's like somebody took a exhaust and then put it in a bucket of water, and it just sounds like muffled and really weird stock. You can do what I did and buy a no cap pipe that'll liven it up quite a lot. And just delete the catalytic converter basically. That could hurt reliability and fuel economy and things like that, emissions and whatnot. And it's probably not going to pass an inspection, but out where I live, they don't really check that stuff, and you'll be perfectly fine. The only other complaint that I have with the bike is the stock mirrors on the bike look hilarious. Kind of, they don't look very good at all. You can get some bar end mirrors like I did. It makes it look a hell of a lot better. It gives it that kind of cafe racer appearance to it, and it just makes the bike look a lot better in the long run, in my opinion. Other than that, I don't really have any complaints out of the bike. The bike has treated me well. It's been reliable so far. I've put 1,400 miles on it now, and I took it on a 700-mile trip not too long ago. I posted a video when I finished that. I went down towards Kentucky, and I do live in Indiana, so I took it quite a long ways. I was out for a week, went to Indianapolis and down south pretty far, and I had absolutely zero issues out of it. Started every time, ran well every time. I didn't have to do anything special. Came home and did the service on it. I did that during the break-in period, and came home, did the service on it, and ever since doing the service, it feels like it rides even better. That first oil change really seemed to make the bike, a little more stable. The only other thing is that the low RPMs when you're in like second gear and stuff, it starts to feel like it has a little bit of a struggle with fuel delivery. That's also down to the ECU issue that I went over earlier, but that's something else that you can still work on resolving. Other than that, this bike's incredibly fun. It's incredibly fun to take off road. This really, really huge tire in the back, I believe it's a 190. It's got tons of grip to give when you're off road. It's got tons of grip to give when you're on road, and despite it having such a big tire and being like 450 pounds and whatnot, it's surprisingly flickable. You can ride this thing pretty confidently and pretty quickly, take turns pretty quickly, and things along those lines. I would say that if you're looking to do any kind of modifications to this bike, the thing that I find that I would really like to change about it is the handlebars mostly, other than that exhaust and the mirrors. The handlebars do kind of have like a pretty wide stature to them, and they do kind of have that almost cruiser-esque feel to them. I would get like a little lower of a handlebar and a little bit closer together handlebar, kind of like the 450 NK. Um, those handlebars are just immaculately designed. I love the positioning on them. They feel very, very comfortable and confidence inspiring. These ones, with them being so wide, it does feel like maybe there's a little bit of a stability problem the faster you get going, but you can also attribute that to the fact that you're running knobby tires. So if you're trying to run this thing on the interstate, just expect a lot of vibrations and a lot of that weird kind of uneasiness to it. But other than that, the bike is incredibly torquey, incredibly fast. It is incredibly fun to ride, especially when you're going through like a trail or if you're off road. And the bike is pretty confidence inspiring once you get used to it. At first, it is pretty scary to learn on, but once you've adapted to its little quirks and whatnot, it is a very good bike. Along with the 450 NK as well, this bike has been incredibly dependable for me so far. I don't have nearly as many miles on it as I do the 450 NK, but I don't think you'll go wrong with this bike if you happen to pick one up. And right now, given that they're discontinuing the CLX series, you can get them very, very cheap right now. And for a bike that's, $4,500 or so, potentially even less if you can walk out of it with the dealership with a better deal. Uh, you just flat out can't go wrong on it. Um, $4,000 for the amount of fun this thing gives you and how big the engine is just it's a steal. And I do want to iterate again as well that I iterated in my video about the 450 NK. These bikes are inexpensive. They're not built cheaply. They're made with really good parts. They are very well built, very well designed. There's a lot of uh, government money involved with getting these bikes into the US market and everything and getting them into other markets, and that's why they are able to list these so inexpensively. And I only see the price on any CFMoto product going up, not because of tariffs. Currently, I know that's a concern in the United States, but in other countries and other markets as well, I do see the prices going up as CFMoto continues to cement itself as a reliable contender in the market. So um, that's all I have to say about the CLX 700. Again, I'm a nationally registered EMT. I'm also a musician if you want to check that out. The links to those are in my bio on TikTok. And if you want to see some more medical tips, I've got some more videos of that coming up for you. So follow me.